Hello everyone and welcome back to Northwest Texas for another Farming Simulator 17 video. If you remember last video, we took a map tour of the Northwest Texas map since it is such a big map, and we also went ahead and bought a loader, tractor, and a gooseneck trailer to haul smaller equipment. In today's episode, we are going to start making money by harvesting, and we are going to begin by harvesting field 28, which is planted in wheat. But to do that, we obviously first need to purchase some equipment. So we will obviously need a harvester. So I went with the New Holland CR10.90. It moves the fastest and it has the most horsepower. Since it's just such a large map, I need fast-moving vehicles. So we'll go ahead and buy this for $430,000. I have also decided to buy a second harvester. Since the fields are so big, we can harvest quicker. So this is the John Deere T660 iPack from Mod Hoster. I will put the link in the description below if I can find the original link for it. So we have the option for a T660i engine, a T670i engine, or a T670i with motor chip tuning, which increases the horsepower. This is the one we are going to go with. And you can get standard wheels, wide tires, 600 DT deluxe tracks, or 36-inch tracks. We are just going to go with the standard wheels for cost's sake, so we'll go ahead and buy that. We are going to need to buy some headers. So for the New Holland, I'm going to buy the Superflex Draper 45 feet because it has a 13.7 meter working width, and it only costs us $62,000. So we'll buy that. And then we'll go ahead and buy the John Deere 630R for the John Deere harvester. It has a 9.1 meter working width and will only cost us $33,500. So we'll go ahead and buy that. We need a tractor for the grain cart, so I have decided to go with the Big Bud 450 from the Big Bud pack. It has 500 horsepower and it goes 18 miles an hour, and it will cost us $225,000. So let's buy that. We are also going to need a semi for the grain hauling duty to and from the silos, so I have decided to go with the Lizard TX 415 barrel core. I'll get the back attached and painted black, so we'll go ahead and buy that for $174,400. We are going to need the grain cart, so I will go with the Brent Avalanche 1596, also from the Big Bud pack. So I will go ahead and buy that for $118,000. You have the option for tracks, but again, for cost's sake, I have decided to go with the standard wheels. And last but not least, for grain hauling duties, we will have the Wilson trailers. If I can find the original link, I will put them in the description below. We are going to buy two 40-foot grain trailers for a total of $90,000, plus a dolly to hook them together for $2,500. So now that we have all of our equipment, we can go ahead and start bringing it over to harvest. So I will go ahead and move this out of the way so we can access the combine header. So I'm going to go ahead and turn up the in-game sound a little bit so you can hear it a little better. To hook the two grain trailers together, I like to hook up to the dolly first, then hook it up to one trailer because I cannot back up two trailers at the same time. It gets really difficult really quickly, and I don't have enough practice to do it in a video. So I'll just go ahead and back this under one of the trailers and hook it up, so then we can back up the other trailer and hook it up to the dolly so we have a two-trailer road train. So just go underneath this one, hook up to it, and then back up and try not to run into the other one. Back up and hook up to this one. So there we go. We'll go ahead and shut that off because we're not going to drive it over quite yet. Get the New Holland combine. Get the John Deere combine and move it out of the way so that we can hook up to the New Holland header. I would like to have harvest done in 2 episodes. It's not going to be done in 1 episode due to the fact that we have to buy all of our equipment. We have to unfold the spikes, or I forget what they're called. Yeah, spikes. So we'll go back to the New Holland and hook it up, and then we will take these two back and start them harvesting. I'm going to bring Big Bud over as well, just so I have something to put grain in if I haven't got the semi over there yet. So I will also put the link to follow me in the description. So we'll go ahead and get the John Deere and bring it over and put it behind the New Holland. No, you shouldn't be following the truck. Move this out of the way. I'll just leave that idling. 40 meters behind. Get Big Bud. This does have the Cummins diesel, which is one reason I decided to go with it, because I absolutely love a Cummins. So we'll go put this behind the John Deere. Although it only goes 19 miles an hour, that is perfectly fine. Put that 25 meters. So we will go ahead and depart and hope we don't encounter any traffic, because if we do, then bad things happen. We are going to be turning off the road really quickly, so hopefully in that short time we don't encounter any traffic. Kind of go off the road in order to keep that John Deere header as far out of that lane as possible. So here's our turn right here. Oh, John Deere, please don't get caught. Please don't get caught, because then bad things happen. So now, this is about a 5-minute drive. I clocked it earlier, so that gives us time to talk about something I am really excited about. If any of you guys watch Welker Farms on YouTube, I will put his link in the channel description, or in the video description below. And if you don't watch him, I highly recommend you go and check him out. He makes amazing videos. And I had been hoping that his map would come, or his farm would come as a map to Farming Simulator. I was watching one of his live streams yesterday, and if this all works out, Mapper's Paradise is going to be making a Farming Simulator mod map of his farm, which I am looking really forward to. One, because I really think that'll be a cool addition to the game. It'll make a nice map for Big Buds. And two, Mapper's Paradise does amazing work, so it'll be a really good representation of his farm. So I'll go ahead and put that live stream in the description also, just so that you can see what I'm talking about, and just so you know I didn't just make that up. And I will also put his channel link there, so go over and check him out and give him a like and subscribe to him. So this map also is really big. Like this field right here, when I was just driving around the map one day, I think I saw that field cost maybe $6 million. So the fields in this map aren't cheap because they are so large. And so I really don't think, unless we do contracting, I really don't think we are going to be able to purchase many additional fields beyond what we have. So yeah, like I said, I decided to go with 2 combines because the field we are going to is so big, it would take forever with 1 combine. So for video's sake and not boring all of you guys, I decided to go with 2 combines to hopefully speed up that process some, so you're not just getting a lot of harvesting videos, because that would be no fun for you guys to watch if it's just harvest after harvest after harvest after harvest after harvest in the videos. So this will hopefully speed it up and be able to give more variety. We are going to be driving by the cow area, I believe. So this field is really close to the cow area. I have no idea where my other harvester is. Is he even following it? They are. So this combine goes too fast even to keep up with them. So I'll try to keep it at maybe 18 miles an hour. Give them time to catch up. Because if you get too far away with follow me, it eventually loses where the leading machine is, and it will quit following. And I really don't want to have to drive at 15 miles an hour much longer than I have to. So I was just about to talk about something, but then I completely forgot what it was. Oh, I decided to go with the grain cart. I was contemplating a grain cart for a while, so I tried doing searches on Google as to what advantages a grain cart has, and basically what I gathered is that it minimizes hauling time on large maps like Northwest Texas, because it allows you to empty the harvesters into a grain cart, and then you can load it into waiting semis at many times we'll have multiple trailers hooked up to it, so it basically reduces hauling time, which is exactly what I was looking for. So I've decided to give it a shot. And a lot of times combines, from what I saw online, need to be unloaded on the go so they can consistently be working. So, and I don't really like driving the semi through the field, especially with the mud mod on this map, because I don't want to run the risk of burying the semi. That would not be good. And then we would have to find a way to pull it out, which also wouldn't be too good. So, and since the Big Bud has 4-wheel drive, it will probably, I think, have a hard time getting stuck. So it's basically just all around, I hope, working for the better. I hope the $118,000 we spent on it doesn't come back and haunt us in the long run. So we are almost to our field. We turn right up here, go down to the end of the path, and our field will be on the right. I don't think we are going to create straw from the field because we are so tight on money right now. We won't, by the time we finish buying all of our necessary equipment, we won't have the money to even lease one and then lease the trailer to go ahead and collect all the bales. So I think it'll just be better for us to skip straw this time. Go ahead and start unfolding that. See what I mean? Follow or G-stop because they were too far behind. So now we have to go ahead and drive it ourselves the rest of the way. So this is a very detailed combine. It has IC, so you can fold that down, fold the steering column down. You can switch between what I'm presuming is fuel usage and RPM maybe to fill level. So we'll go ahead and leave that at fill level. What other IC is there? You can open the doors. Go ahead and start unfolding this so we can just set him to work as soon as we get there. So if we turn down here, like I said, we'll get to our field. So this is going to be, by the looks of things, more of hauling / driving equipment than harvesting. So next episode, I'm hoping we will be able to start harvesting. That's one thing I wish I could learn is not learn because I know how, is find a decent video editor that I can edit good videos in, because I'm going to be able to cut out the driving time, and I think it would really improve on my videos. So that's one thing I want to find. I found one that I thought was good, but I couldn't figure out how to export it, so it was basically worthless for me. For other people who know how to use it, it wouldn't be. Here, there's the Big Bud following right behind us. I'm just going to go ahead and stop him, just because I really don't need him following. I will probably be using the GPS mod at some point in this series, so that'll be a nice addition. So we'll start this combine at this end, and we will start the other one at the other end. I want to disable the straw, so fold that down. Start the harvesting. I love the sound effects on this harvester. Just to go ahead and come to this harvester, so we can go over to the other end and start. There's the Big Bud patiently waiting, which I'll be coming right back for after I bring the semi-truck over. This may end up being a little bit of a longer video than normal, just because we spent so much time driving. I want you guys to to get something good out of this video instead of just driving. So we'll go ahead. One thing I like about this header is it's on its own trailer, so I don't have to buy a header trailer, which I didn't want to buy a header trailer period, which is why I had that John Deere just haul its header, or not haul its header, have the header hooked up the whole time, because header trailers are just a way, or just cost more to maintain and all that stuff. Go ahead and set off this harvester. we'll go down to the shop and get the semi. I don't know if that's enabled or disabled right now. We'll see in a minute. Okay, so straw's disabled. So we'll go ahead and set him off. We'll go ahead and get the semi and bring it over. Go ahead and open the top so that the grain cart can unload into it. This is a really nice setup. I really like it. I like being able to pull 2 trailers. We probably really shouldn't be doing this, since it turns so wide. I hope I don't get run into just like that. That's what I was talking about last video with the cars in this game. The speed limit is so much higher. It's so easy to get run into if you're not going fast enough. So we're going to press our luck again and go across the street. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Oh, well. No, it was slightly the end of the trailer. Oops. So, last video, if you're wondering what I was talking about, that is exactly what I was talking about right there, as I got run into. Not once, but twice, because I turned way too... or I went way too soon. Just something I shouldn't have done. So, as you can see, like I said, I'm using the stock truck, because it goes quick, or it goes fast, and I'm using 2 42-foot grain trailers, so that I can haul. I think this combination has a capacity of over 100,000 liters, or really close to 100,000 liters. Once we get over there, I'll go ahead and look while we're waiting for the harvesters, because that's really all we can do right now. Since I don't have anything to seed, we're basically stuck with the harvester. And I also wish I could figure out how to video edit so I could do time lapses of harvesting instead of just having to do it all off screen. But I also haven't bought any licenses to do like Audionautics or Epidemic Sound to use music, because I don't have enough channel views yet. So it'd be a time lapse basically of just me harvesting with no background music or me finishing it off screen. So please vote below which one you would like to see, and I will try to make that happen. So that's one advantage of the semis. We can get to the field so fast, but I don't want to buy a trailer big enough or wide enough to haul the harvesters, because that's more money, and I'd have to make 2 trips instead of 1. So we are almost back to the field where we will be parking the semi. I think next episode I'll go ahead and do a little bit of harvesting myself instead of just having workers hired. So here's our turnoff. One thing about this combination is it's so long it's hard to make a turn without... Well, as soon as I say that, I pretty much nail that turn. But a lot of times on like smaller turns, it's hard to make them without going into the ditch, and when you go into the ditch, you run into fences, and fences mess things up so bad, because if you're towing 2 trailers and you have to back up, which can... Well, this one basically is like towing 3 because there's 3 articulation points, which can turn into a real disaster. So I try to go really wide when possible, and when it's not possible, you get to see me fail. I'm going to go ahead and pull over here just so Harvester has enough room to turn around. Oh wow, that field's long, much longer than I realized. We'll probably go ahead and park. We are pretty much right at the edge of the map with this field. So we'll go ahead and park right here. Let's go see how full Harvester is. Harvester is 41% full on this one. Getting full, so we'll go ahead and get Big Bud with the auger wagon, and we'll go ahead and start unloading the John Deere. So I'm about to demonstrate one of the advantages to a grain cart according to Google, which is unloading on the go. So once we can find the John Deere, we will go to it and unload on the go into our Brent Avalanche grain cart, courtesy of Giants in the Big Bud pack. These Big Bud tractors are really nice. The interior too, which is a lot of detail, especially if people don't drive in the cab a lot. And even the engine detail on here is amazing. Like the fan spins, and you can just see the turbo and all that stuff. Helper Beast, which is the Johnny Deere, almost has a full grain tank. Now, the next test is that auger going to go high enough to empty into our grain cart? Oh no. I'm messing things up so bad by doing this. It's not even funny. So I'm going to set cruise control to 6 miles an hour. We'll go ahead and do 5. So we can unload him on the go. Without having to keep adjusting our speed. And then once you get down to the end, if we haven't unloaded, we'll just wait for him to unload and go back to the New Holland. Actually, we'll stay with him. No, we won't. Because then we'll have to drive in the crops, which I don't like doing. So then if the New Holland is in a good spot, we will go follow the New Holland. So see, like right here, I think is the main advantage of a grain cart, because you can unload on the go without having to bring your semi. So we'll just follow him down to the end of the field. Where is the New Holland's probably up there in a position that is not ideal. I wonder how fast the New Holland moves when it's working, because that'll determine what we need to set our cruise control to. I love the turbo sound on this. I love turbo sounds in general. I love when the turbo spools up. So looks like it is not going to work out how we want it to. Just listen to that turbo. I love it so much. Out of everything in the Big Bud, or out of the 2 tractors in the Big Bud pack, this one is actually probably my favorite over the 747, just because I've never really cared for the sound of a 2-stroke Detroit. I love the sound, and you really can't hear the turbo. I love the sound of a turbo. So that is one reason I love this tractor, and this tractor is just so much more maneuverable than the 747, because it's narrower and it only has single wheels. The 747's massive, and it has 2 wheels, which makes it not so maneuverable in some places. We'll follow him and see if he makes it to the end. But yeah, I've never really cared for the sound of a 2-stroke Detroit. I like the sound of an idling 2-stroke Detroit, but when it's revved, I've never, like I said, really cared for the sound of it. I know that'll disappoint some people, but I'm sorry. I'm a Cummins person, as you can tell by this tractor and the truck that we own. The horn on this sounds amazing too. It's the other one that has, I think, a custom horn sound. So let's just hope. Let's get in and see how fast he harvests. 6 miles an hour also. Oh, please make it to the end. Please make it to the end. So I really don't want to have to drive in the crops. I don't like doing that at all. So with 2 harvesters, this field may actually go much quicker than I was planning. Come on, you can do it, you can do it, you can do it, you can do it. Alright, good. So let's get ready on the other side to pick up the grain. We've already got 11,517 liters, which isn't bad at all. It's one thing about these articulating tractors is they're hard to get close to vehicles sometimes. Well, we will follow him down the field until we get a notice that the John Deere is almost full. It's one thing I don't like about driving the grain cart either, is you have to stay so perfect or else you will stop the unload process. So we will just go along with him. I'm actually really glad I bought the grain cart, because you can unload harvesters on the go without having to use a semi. Like you can see right here, but then you have to get a good operator, which is the complete opposite of what I am right now, who can stay straight. I was doing much better with the John Deere. try to stay as straight as possible. I'm going faster than that. Now it's going faster than I am, of course. So I'm thinking that's exactly 6 miles an hour, and if I bump it up 1, that might be 6.5. Because I have a noticeable speed difference when I do that. So we have completely emptied his grain tank. We will try to follow him to the end of the field if possible, and if not, we will go ahead and... this is going to be a thumbnail shot right here. And I really shouldn't be doing that because then stuff like that happens, and then I mess up really bad. And that's not good when that happens. So this is probably going to be like maybe a 30 to 35 minute video, just because we spent so much time, like I said, driving, and not much time doing field work, so here's the field work. I think I'll go ahead and end this episode when the grain cart is full, and after we unload it into this semi. Yeah, this grain cart I think was a really good idea, because then the combine can stay working and you're not just paying the worker to sit there. I really should have been paying attention to the notifications so I know if the John Deere is... no, I'm gonna go get the John Deere while its auger is on the right side so I don't have to drive in the crops, if I can make it there in time, going at 20 miles an hour. And I love this tractor going up a hill and under a load, so I just love this tractor, period. I think if I found it right, it's either an 855 Cummins, which I think is 14 liters, or it's a KTA 1150, which maybe might be 18.8. I'm not good at converting cubic inches to liters. There's very few that I know. I know 407 is 6.7 liters. I know that 444 CI is 7.3 liters. 359 is 5.9, and that's really honestly about all. And 286 is 4.7. So that's honestly really about all I know. Where is the John Deere? Says it should be down here. Oh, I'm going towards it. So it looks like I'm going to time this one pretty close to perfect. So I'm, like I said, because if we had a tipper trailer, I wouldn't be using the semi, and we'd be using a tractor and a small tipper, and I would have had to make so many trips that I didn't want to make right about now. So if you're ever contemplating buying a grain cart in this game, I highly recommend it. Try not to obstruct him like we did last time. Like he moves faster than the New Holland. Like 6.5, it looks like it's perfect for this one. Whereas the New Holland is perfect at 6. So right now what I'm doing is I'm just adjusting the cruise control to try to get to different parts of the grain cart by going faster than him. Like now I'll go back down and fill up here. Slow down and let him go forward some. Go ahead and go back up. So he is completely empty, so once we get to the end of the field with him, that's a John Deere you're hearing. Has really good sounds. We will go ahead and go back to the New Holland. This tractor struggles with this. $1,100 in wage payments. Wow. This also looks really good behind this tractor. And there's a semi just sitting over there, so once we unload the harvester, or not the harvester, the auger wagon, or once the auger wagon is full, we will take it over to the semi, and once the semi is full, we will take it over to the storage silos, which I still have to find. I have an idea on where they are, but I'm not 100%. So this field with 2 harvesters is going really fast. I'm so appreciative I bought 2 harvesters. That was a good decision on my part. And if you play on a big map, I recommend 2 harvesters. I'll just recommend that now. So that harvester shouldn't be full by the time it gets to the end of the field. I'm hoping it's not. This, I think that holds 15,000, so that should, if you can hear my dog barking in the background, I apologize. That should fill up this auger wagon, which goes to the semi, and then after that, so I don't make this video too long, we'll put an end to this episode, and we will probably finish harvesting this field next episode. I could just imagine what... The only thing with 2 combines is you're constantly back and forth, and with a slow-moving tractor, that's not always a good thing. But I seem to have been timing it right, except this time the John Deere is probably going to stop, which is not going to be good, because then I'm paying a worker just to sit there. And when we haven't even bought all of our equipment, and we've gone from 2.1 million down to $500,000, every dollar is critical. So that's why I don't like to have harvesters stop. So that's really one of the reasons I'm not going to use horseplay yet, is because I think horseplay takes money, because you have to obviously pay your workers, which we don't have money to do right now. So that's just saving money. So we'll go down here and turn around and wait for the New Holland to turn around. This episode has gone for 32 minutes, so it is going to be a longer episode than normal. I'm probably going to break it into 2 parts. This part and then part 2. So I plan to go 20 to 25 episodes that make it longer, because I am really enjoying this map so far. And we're not going to end the series until we purchase field 18. Perfect. So this should almost fill this auger wagon. Slow down to exactly 6 miles an hour. Finish unloading this. I have a feeling this is going to fill up this auger wagon, which means we will go to the semi. I think this is a 53,000 liter wagon. Based on the percent full, it is a 53,000 liter wagon. Wow, this big bud struggles with it. So after we unload this, we are going to conclude this episode. I just think auger wagons in general are rather unique and really useful inventions. So if you have any questions for me that you'd like me to answer in these videos, please post them in the comments below, and I will be glad to do so in future videos, because I'm always looking for things to talk about in my videos. Oh, this doesn't work like a normal grain trailer, apparently. Got it. So I'll just go to the middle and let it pick which side it wants to fall on. This might completely fill up one of these trailers, which I'm hoping that, I never thought I'd say this, I'm hoping this field doesn't create more than a certain number of liters, because I guarantee you I won't be back in time with the semi to unload the harvesters with the grain bin again. So 53,000 minus, we'll go ahead and say 4,000 is 49,000. So 49,435 maybe? We'll have to look before we conclude the video. This is going to be a long video, and if you think this video is too long, please post in the comments below, and I will try not to make a video this long again. See if I can not. I cannot make that apparently. This is gonna looks like be a 36-minute episode. So, as usual, thank you all for watching. If you're enjoying this, please comment, rate, subscribe, and like to be notified of future videos. So before we go ahead and sign off, we are going to see how much the tipper can hold. 49,335 liters. So that'll take just under 100,000. So thank you all for watching. Have a nice day, everyone.